So this is our first interview with Becoming New Again Weight Loss, and I chose the fabulous Miss Kym because she has a great story. You do. You have a fabulous story. I love your story. So just kind of fill in a little background. Kym is a actress, working actress, and actually I just went and got PureFlix so I can look up what's the name of that movie that's on PureFlix.
Silver Bells.
Silver Bells, thank you. So I'm going to go look up at that, and I'm waiting for your Detroit series to...
You know, it's a Cleveland series.
Cleveland series, thank you. Okay, Cleveland series.
Started January 5th. It premiered in Cleveland. But we're still filming. So I think the next episode will air like February, something towards the end of February.
And is it nationwide? What channel?
As far as I know, it's only going to be local to Cleveland. When we first, a couple of years ago, it actually only aired in Columbus on the Bounce Network. But then they're still trying to get the viewership ratings up, so that's how we were able to secure a CBS. But it's only on a local level. So, but there is a link, though. There is a link. I don't know what the link is, but there is a link where people can go and see the first episode.
Oh, good. Well, we'll have to get that from you and somehow find it and share. So, and what's it called?
It's called The Land, which is short for Cleveland. The Land, FAU, the Fugitive Apprehension Unit.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about, because it's just so fascinating. Your character is?
I play the chief of police. Yeah. So
Awesome.
I have of operatives who a team of police officers, detectives, etc., that go after fugitives. That's our job, is to apprehend fugitives, bring them in, take them down. Yeah, so I'm the chief of police.
Awesome. Yeah. How fun. So I wanted you to give you an opportunity to tell us a little bit about you. I mean, I know a lot about you as much as I can from Facebook, but I mean, I do follow you. I've watched, your whole life with your mom and your fabulously amazing sons that are just little prayer warrior dudes that are just blow my mind.
They're teenagers now, 13 and 15, and it's been easy, really easy raising them. All this time, it hasn't been hard whatsoever. Like when people say, "Oh, being a single parent is hard," and I'm a single parent in that their dad doesn't live in our home. He's still their dad, and they're actually with him right now.
Right.
It's easy. It's been so easy. So when I've heard people say, "Oh, it's so hard to be a single mother," I think, what's hard about it? What's the hard part? Because to me, it's like second nature. But these teenage years with my son Ernesto, who turned 15, yeah, he's getting to be a handful a little bit, just a little bit. He's he got a little bit of hair, on his top lip, a little bit of peach fuzz.
How fun.
Yeah, and the girls are,
they're handsome young men.
Thick and be like, listen, don't forget who your mother is,
Right. Yes.
Yeah. No, but it still is I wouldn't have it any other way. I moved my mother in with me. I moved to here from New York 4 years ago, and got an apartment up the street from me, and she stayed in there and maintained it for as long as possible. So I just recently moved her in with me last June. And it was the best thing I could have ever done, because it's so hard running two households.
Yeah.
It's hard, and then I watched the film 2 years ago called What the Hell, the documentary.
Yes. Right.
That kind of changed the trajectory on how I was going to be caring for her. So I kind of moved her to a plant-based diet to try to reverse the dementia.
Uh-huh.
And I did that starting on her birthday 2 years ago, July 22nd. And within a week, she said that she could feel a difference, because I had been, caring for her, but feeding her TV dinner. I had just been giving, because she doesn't use in her apartment, and just giving her TV dinner. She can, microwave the food, but it was nothing of nutritional value. And it was so counterproductive to her mental, and to her brain. So, I figured I can take care of her and I'll worry about, my weight loss later, which is where I am now.
And that happened this last year. You finally became your priority. Your health became your priority. And you did. So, can you give us fill in a little bit about your HCG history? Because this past year wasn't your first round. You do have a history with HCG, and
Yeah.
it's a not so great history until this last round. And so, kind of explain what happened and what you've learned.
Well, about 5 years ago, I was at my girlfriend's salon and I was talking to another girl that was there at the salon. The salon is just a chatterbox. And we were talking about weight loss. And this girl had mentioned that I can go to this kind of quack doctor about 40 minutes away from me and get some of these pills that would help me lose weight. And, I wasn't as overweight as I've become at that time. I was still probably in about the 240 range, maybe. I was about 240, but the way I carry it, no one would really guess it.
Right.
Um, I have big boobs or whatever. So anyway, she referred me to this. I call him a quack doctor because it really was just a storefront, and they had a desk, and someone was sitting behind a desk, and they had a couple, um, uh, what do you call, a couple of offices in this little office space within it, and they had like a scale, and they had doctor coats and stuff hanging up, and it was just by the time I got out of there, I kind of knew it was just not a legitimate doctor's office. um,
Right.
Went there to get these pills, which turned out to be ephedrine,
Ephedrine, or it could have been phentermine. Phentermine is really popular.
phentermine.
Yep.
Well, I remember
Ugh.
taking those a while ago, years ago. I remember taking them
Yeah.
for weight loss, and my heart raced, and it was ridiculous. And I was like, so when they said that these were the pills, I was like, I'm not going to take those. Not especially if I'm suffering from high blood pressure. I just refuse to do that. I'm not going to take
Right.
it. And so they said we have something else, and that's when they introduced me to HCG
Drops. Okay.
sublingual, and they shared enough information with me to have me test the drops to make sure that they work, because they explained briefly about it being a pregnancy hormone or something along those lines. I can't remember. And I had to go to a compound pharmacy to go pick it up and mix it myself and then keep it refrigerated. And
So
I
they were
think
legitimate. They were legitimate prescription strength drops, which back 10 years ago, that's how, that was before the FDA cracked down and made them take HCG out of their formulation. Right. Now
right.
you can only get them from a doctor with a prescription, which was what basically you did. He gave you a
Yeah,
prescription. So,
yeah. So I got that, and I started. I think I took that. Only had to take the drops like I think once or twice max. It wasn't like 3 times a day, and I just had to put a couple drops under my tongue, and that was it. And they gave me let's see, I think they gave me a food chart. Um, and then they had me come into the clinic once a week to weigh in and measure me.
okay, perfect.
Um, which was okay, but after doing, I mean, I was paying. The other thing was, I was paying $300 for these doggone drops. I didn't know any better. I
Yeah.
didn't.
No,
Yeah, I didn't know any better. I didn't know that I could purchase them from a local vendor. I could purchase them cheaper overseas. I didn't know anything about it. I just was all for it. Let me just try whatever.
right.
They didn't really explain the protocol. That was it. They just gave me a food list and told me to take the drops, follow the food list. I can't even remember the calorie information if it was even on that food list, because it
Right.
wasn't. I can't remember any of that, but I think I still had a Weight Watcher scale, so that's how I remember weighing the food. But I think because I only weighed in 4 times for the 30-day round. I think it was 30 days, and I weighed in 4 times, and
Uh-huh.
I lost the max I've ever lost on the drops. Maybe was like I don't know, maybe 24 pounds. I'm
Okay.
not sure inches that I lost on it. I'm not sure because they used to measure me and it didn't really matter to me. I couldn't tell it. I couldn't tell that I lost weight other than getting on the same scale at their office.
Right.
I probably would have been more successful had I known to weigh myself every day and had I really understood the protocol, because at that time, I had visited this clinic at least 3 or 4 times over the year. And every time I failed, the weight came back, but because I know the protocol so well, not so well, but better than I did, I didn't know that there was a phase 3. I didn't know that there was a phase 2, phase 1. I didn't know any of that. They just gave me food list. And so that was it. And then I think, which brings me up until a few years ago, when I met you, I found a group. I don't remember how I started looking on Facebook for HCG. Right. I don't remember how that search came up. But I had heard about it somehow. I heard about the drops, and then, that was it. That was actually it. I started looking because I didn't want to spend $300 anymore.
Right.
And so I looked on Facebook, and that's how I saw, all of these groups regarding HCG.
Right.
And, the rest kind of becomes history. But I think, when we met, you were so thorough with explaining it. Unfortunately, I wasn't in the frame of mind to receive it.
Yeah.
I was just, all I was concerned about was just losing the weight, and then let it happen. And
the quick fix. I want a quick fix. Don't want to have to really deal with much. I just want a quick fix. Yeah.
Just tell me what I need to eat. Tell me how much of it, and I'm good. I'm willing to do a food scale, and I'm willing to buckle down. But again, I think I wasn't really invested in the fullness of the original protocol, because I didn't, the few rounds that I've done with you that I've completely sabotaged or self-sabotage really came from not thinking that all of those little tastes and spoonfuls of food that I did for my family before I fed them would add up. Given that I make chili, I'm eating my little cabbage and chicken, and I make them a bowl of chili, and then I taste it, a couple spoonfuls. You don't think that it adds up, but it throws your entire system off.
Right.
It throws completely off. And I didn't, and then I never attempted P3, even though you had went through it, even though I knew that this was a part of it. I never really attempted it. I lost 25, 27 pounds, like that, come close on the rounds, but then forget it. It was just no holds bar after that. It was, I'm just gonna, the weight come back. You think you lose it, and you don't even realize that it's coming back.
Yeah.
Because you're still following the protocol. And before before you know it, if you decide to get on the scale after that, it's downhill from there. Yeah. And that brings me to my last round. Yeah.
So my question about the clinic that you went to, because this has been my experience with people who have come to me after they've had experiences with clinics. When you'd go back for a new round and you gained weight back, would they make it feel like it was your fault? You did it wrong. You're not disciplined, or did they just not even care? Oh, great, you're back. Give us more money type thing.
They didn't care. They didn't care, because if they cared, then from the onset, they would have explained the full protocol.
There you
go. So they didn't care. They didn't care. They were back and they got my money.
Sadly, most clinics and most doctors don't even know the protocol, honestly, is what I've found in my experience. My own naturopath doctor that I go to, he does the HCG. He's got his beautiful little pamphlets and everything, and he charges like $500, and then the HCG on top of it. And right in the pamphlet, it's like, custom workout programs, and and then he gave me these photocopied papers, and it had all kinds of rogue foods on it. It was just, and I'm like. And then, so once I went back to him and I'm like, wait, I was, he said something about it. And I said, but it's not the real protocol. And he goes, 80%, his response to me was, 80% success rate's good enough for me. And I was just like, wow. But if you think about it, they don't really want you to succeed because they want you to keep coming back to keep giving them more money,
Yeah.
and so it's almost like they set you up to fail. Now, there's some good ones out there. The clinic I originally went to in 2011, 2012, they were very thorough, and maybe it helped that the women went to my church with me. Yeah, I don't know. But that it was, they did the phase 2 and the phase 3.
Renita, 1 second. If my battery may die on us, so how does that affect the recording?
Well, your beautiful face will go away. Oh, you'll probably go away. Can you plug in?
You said, is there, no, this, long story short, I have to take the battery out of this phone because the charging port is broke. So I can't in the wall. I got to take the battery out and put it in another phone and charge it. So then pause the video and I can get on my other phone?
You know what? Yeah, well, let me see. I should be able to. I sure can. I can pause it.
Okay, so then I'm going to go pick up from another phone, if that's okay.
That'll be perfect.
Okay, do you want to give me a few minutes? I'll be right back.
Yep, I'll pause right now.
Okay.
Okay, we're back. So did a phone switch and ready to go. Been interviewing Kym Whitehead, who now, okay, so where'd we leave off? Clinics.
Not really wanting you to know the full protocol as long as they get your money. And I'm positive that this particular place that I went to, and it turns out that they moved a few times over the years. They would, I like, if I went back to see them in 6 or 7 months or something like that, they weren't there. You just had to kind of figure out where they moved. So I think that, I don't know if they're still in business, but I recall about a year ago, they changed the name of their office, and they sent me a postcard in the mail on their new location. And that was probably about a year and a half ago, but I found it, so I don't need it.
Right. And they can still do, people still do compounding drops. There are, in fact, I even used to offer drop kits on my website where people could get the HCG and then make drops out of it instead of having to do injections. It's just, you gotta, it's with vitamin B and, it works. So, but it's the over the counter, the homeopathic drops that don't have any HCG in them at all. And they're actually quite dangerous. And that's, so.
I've never considered buying it over the counter, because if it's such a big miracle weight loss opportunity, it wouldn't be on the shelf. You wouldn't be able to find it on the shelf, and they would be charging way more, over the counter for it if it was legit.
And the sad thing is it's appetite suppressants, and what it says that it has a vibration of the HCG molecule in it. It's illegal for it to have HCG in it, but it has a very diluted amount of HCG. So they can say it on the label, but it's mainly appetite suppressant. So essentially, you're asking people to be on 500 calories with just an appetite suppressant without the HCG to do what it's supposed to do in your body to keep you, to protect you. And that's why people gain the weight back, after, and I don't know about you, but for me, when I did phentermine decades ago, I gained all the weight back and more because it's a very unhealthy way to lose weight, and it doesn't reset the metabolism like HCG does.
I mean, with the previous round, not this last round, but the second to last round, that was exactly what happened, because I did not commit to P3. P3, P4, P5, 7, and 8, whatever. I just lost the weight and let me keep it moving. But I didn't commit, and before you know it, I had not only gained, I think at that second to last round, I maybe lost 27 pounds, but I gained that back, and then an additional 20 something.
Right.
I was through the roof. I was literally through the roof, and I was just like, oh my God. And that's when I decided I got to commit to this and give it a shot, because I really wasn't, I thought I was doing a protocol because I was eating exactly what I was supposed to eat and the amount that I was supposed to eat, but all of the little taste tests that I did, it was really sabotaging. It was really, really jacking me up.
Yeah.
A couple times I drank a shot of tequila, and that threw the alcohol threw the metabolism completely off. And it's just, I think I just had made up in my mind that I was going to commit to doing it the right way, one time. Right, I was going to commit to it doing the right way one time and being completely honest. And you don't know how hard it was to make breakfast for my family and not lick the spoon.
Yeah.
When you're smearing butter or cream cheese on the bagel and a little bit of the cream cheese gets on your finger and you want to like this.
Yeah.
I said, I've done too many of these little tasting here, tasting there. I just need, a sip of juice or something. I did too many that just was not good for me. It just, and I was wasting money. I was wasting my money. I mean, I was wasting my money and wasting my time. I give up, 30 days.
Right.
And only to just sabotage it. So that's when I realized with this last round, you got to go all the way. And it's amazing because of all, I belong to about 5 groups on Facebook. Some of them maybe a little bit more active than the other ones, but there's probably about four groups. But to be honest, and this is not schmoozing up to you, but my ears just kind of bleed. My eyes just kind of bleed when I see all of the variations of people sabotaging their rounds and substituting and making things up along the way. And they're saying, it's day 5 and they've lost, 2 pounds. Woohoo! And I'm thinking, what are you eating in 5 days? And you claim that you're doing original protocol? Like, you can't be.
Right.
I'm thinking that if you're that initial drop overnight, that big overnight, like when you really, after you do the 2 loading days, for me has always been huge.
Right. There's a pattern to that. And actually, I'm going to be addressing that probably in one of my next blogs, is that you lose your loading weight within the first 2 or 3 days. So if you gained a lot loading, you're going to lose a lot loading. Now, there's people that don't lose during the first couple of days, but they didn't gain during loading either. So, and they're like, I'm not losing like everyone else. It's like, well, how much did you gain during loading? I lost a half a pound. Then you don't have that loading weight to lose right off the bat to jumpstart things going. And that's why I always recommend, gain that 3 to 7 pounds during loading, because you're going to dump it within the first 2 days and it just kickstarts the losses right in instead of, like you say, the first couple of days and, I'm not losing like everybody else. And people
that say that in one of the other groups, there was a young lady who posted that she was on day 5 and she had lost 3 pounds, and she looks she's about as heavy as I am. And, she's doing, she's on protocol. And I just wonder, what protocol are you following? Because I know just from me being heavy, in the beginning, the weight will come off quickly because I'm already overweight, and I understand, the people that, the closer I get to goal, the weight won't come off as quickly, and I'm totally okay with that. So it confuses me when people say, oh, I'm on it and I want to lose, I'm gonna do a 30-day round, I want to lose 10 pounds, I want to lose 5, and I'm thinking, where do you want to lose it from? Like, that doesn't make sense to me to go on this kind of diet if you just want to lose 10. Like, where do you see the 10 pounds coming from? Like this is perfect for me, someone that's considered morbidly obese.
And you're exactly, and myself, when I started, I was 225 pounds and, and I'm only 5'3", so I'm short, and I was round. And that's exactly it. I believe wholeheartedly in HCG is the perfect tool for people who have high blood pressure like yourself. You've got health issues because of your weight. Let's get it off and get healthy. Then we can move into, with that last 10, 20 pounds, let's try other things.
Right.
Because you're right. I find that people fight with that last 10, 20 pounds, and HCG is not always the best way or the best tool to use for the last 10, 20 pounds. There's other things. Plus, once you get down to that place, there's so many other things you need to start. That's why my thing is that I work with women, to resurrect their dreams. First off, let's start dreaming again about the stuff that we let go when we started not taking care of ourselves.
Right.
Then it's restore our health, which is where you're at. Let's get that weight off. Let's get your blood pressure down. Let's get your health back. And then it's let's renew your mind. You're renewing your mind. You realized a habit that you had to stop doing. You had to create a new habit of cooking without tasting.
Right.
And it's a new habit.
It's not easy. That I can tell you, it's not easy to not lick the ketchup off your finger when you've poured it on accidentally. It's so not easy. But I find myself now with being at even with day 3 with this round, I'm so conscious of it. Because I just gave my mother a muffin, and there were little bits and crumbs of the muffin that fell off back in the muffin pan. And normally I'd pick it up and eat it. But I said, nope, because I've learned that through hard work and dedication and discipline. This works. This completely works. And I was so disciplined in that last round. I made a couple of unconscious mistakes. They weren't purposeful cheats. I can tell you that. They weren't me, let me get a spoonful and this happened. That wasn't it.
Exactly.
I may have, I think the one time where I was in P3. I think I started in P3 or P2, I don't know, where I had like snow peas and carrots.
In P3, yeah.
I gained a significant amount of weight, but it wasn't part of the protocol. And I think that's, when people get confused. Well, I know for me, when I got to P2, that it's a very clear food list, how much you can eat, and it's very outlined. And then P3 is that kind of gray area, like, oh my gosh, what do I eat? Do I just double what I eat? And I just kind of just went with it, and I accidentally ate it. But, I realize now that I appreciate the strictness. Not everybody can appreciate it. And people will find their own tricks of the trade and say, well, like for instance, here's a perfect example. It just happened last night. I went out to Sam's Club and they had riced cauliflower in the big bags for $7.99. And across it says, 20 calories a serving, blah, 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 blah. Right. And I was like, I've never had it before and I really want to try it. So I was on this current phone, which I didn't have my food list with me. And so I went into the group to see if cauliflower was acceptable. So, but here's the thing. When I went into the group, I just did a search for cauliflower. And then I saw all of these recipes. Cauliflower this, rice cauliflower that. I didn't click on any one particular thing. I saw all these recipes. Oh, it's so good, it's so good, it's so good, right? And so I went ahead and bought I bought 2 bags of rice cauliflower, right? I bought 2 bags. I'm like, woo, because I wanted something carby. I wanted something ricey, something like that.
Yep.
I said, I'm going to make that with some chicken, and that's going to be so good. So I came back home, and then I went back into the groups, and I kid you not, on every single one of those posts when I was looking for recipes, there you were saying that's not on protocol. That's not on protocol.
I am, the HC police. Nope.
That may be good for P3, but it's not okay for P2. And I'm like, no.
Put them in the freezer. Put them in the freezer. You can have them when you get to P3. But yeah.
You don't do the research just off, like I said, just off the search. You see all of these recipes listed in P2. And if you don't pay attention and click on them, you won't realize that it's not acceptable. It's not a good food to have. And that is thing, that like I said, I just saw recipe after recipe, cauliflower, oh, it's so good. And then when I decided to look back at the actual recipe, what else can I do other than throw it in a little pan with some water? There you were right there. And I was just like, crap. And then I got home and I saw my food list. And technically I should have went into the group and went straight to the food list. On there, but I wasn't thinking. I just did a search for cauliflower. But when I got back home, I looked on my food list. Cauliflower wasn't there, and I was like, "Wait, no! Let me go back in the group." All of these, and then when I went back in the group, there you were, and I was just like, and I put it away. And then I had my regular go-to meal, which is cabbage and some chicken breast.
Yeah.
And woke up to a 5.2 weight loss.
Now you can see 5.2 weight loss. You lose phenomenally during your first week. You lose, but
yeah.
you can chop your cabbage up to
Mhm.
tiny, 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 and make it rice-like. It's called dirty rice. So there's some recipes for dirty rice with cabbage in there. And that reminds me. Then I will go through. So I'm going to go through the P2 group. And I'll start deleting. I'm going to start deleting. And when I catch them, like older posts, I delete them. But yeah, if that's causing any kind of confusion, I want those posts out of there so that when you search cauliflower, you're going to see nothing but not on protocol in P2.
Right. Because I mean, there was a plethora of them in there.
Okay.
Yeah, and they were great recipes, but you were steady reminding them. And I said, well, I wonder if people were posting them before there was a P3 group, if they were just putting them in the group, saying that they would.
It could have been. It could have been.
To put it in the P3 group, and they were on P3, But I didn't. Like I said, I was craving it last night. But again, if it had not been for this last round and me being totally committed to it.
Yes. Well, and you know what? I want you to know. What's that?
I think it's because of the history. Because I have that in my history, I know it works. I know what I have to do. And there is no getting around it. And any small deviation from what I do, it will not yield me the same results. Now, I'm not expecting the same kind of results, but close to it. Because I still have a significant amount of weight to lose. I got like 75 pounds I want to lose. So there's a lot of stored fat that we can tap into.
Absolutely.
I don't want to walk away with 17 pounds on a 40-day weight loss. Like I don't want to do that.
Right. Yeah. Right. Well, and with that, my first round when I was I think I was 212 when I started my first round, 212, 26, something like that. I lost 38 pounds in the 40 days. But my last one where I was 170, I only lost 20 because I didn't have as much to lose. I lost, half as much.
That's so wonderful. That's when you lose that little, that's telling you that you're getting close to goal.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yes, I can't wait to get that feeling where I only lose 17 pounds and I'm so strict on the diet for 40 days and I only lost because that's closer to me getting to goal.
Yes. Well, and I want you to know that you are not unusual. You are so typical. Your story that's why I really wanted to share your story because there's so many women out there that can relate to you because they do it with the wrong focus and motivation. I just want to get the weight off. I don't want to have to learn all this extra stuff. I just want a magic pill, a magic wand, boop, the weight's gone. And they fall. And then something eventually clicks where it's like, I got to get real. And so you're in a really healthy, mental, emotional place of, you got those boys, you got your mama, she needs you. They all need you. You got to take care of yourself. And, you're a caregiver. You take care of all them and to take care of you. And so you just taking this little bit of time to take care of you is so crucial. And it is a hard protocol because it does require discipline. And I think that's why people want the rogue protocols because they don't really want to be that disciplined. They want to play with it. They want their cake and be able to eat it too.
Right. And you know what? That doesn't work. And here's the thing. For me, this last round was a serious wake-up call. I mean, like I felt really so proud of myself because I was able to really be honest and say, I didn't do this. I know I didn't do this. And to reap the benefits of it was just a tremendous feeling of just victory where I was just like, wow, I really did it.
Yes.
And so because of that, you can't get me to deviate. You can't get me to go rogue. Not when I see the potential is there to lose that amount of weight. And again, it's not for everybody. I mean, if someone only has 20 pounds to lose, again, and I had to explain that in one of the other groups that I'm in, where, that last round, I had lost 20 pounds in those first 7 days. And saying, holy cow, what are you doing? You know what I'm doing? I'm 282 pounds. That's what I was doing. I was right next to 300. When you're 175, don't expect the weight to come off if you only need to get to 160. It's
There
not
you go.
easy.
Come
And you
on.
have,
Come on.
you
That's
know, remind
exactly it.
people that I've been eating my heart out. I've been having my cake and eating it too for too long. And you know, it's nothing to be jealous of. In fact, be proud that you have so little to lose, or you've lost so little if you've been honest. No, if you've been honest and following protocol, and that's the thing. The key to it is being honest and knowing I'm not substituting, you know, cauliflower for cabbage. I'm not substituting, you know, a ribeye steak for some lean beef, you know, you know, and not substituting, not making a bunch of substitutions. And that mindset of a little bit won't hurt, a little taste won't hurt.
Right.
Yeah.
So
If you did that every day, trust me, it hurts, it messes up. And then I told some other girls in one of the other groups that when I decided to commit to this last round, I was committed to doing P2 40-day rounds, which I never done. And I was committed to doing and learning about P3.
Yep.
And aside from some oversights, not purposeful slip-ups, aside from some oversights and mess-ups, I still feel that I nailed it. That it wasn't, because I maintained up until last week, Wednesday, I still was in my 2-pound window.
In P4.
P4. I mean, when I finished that round back in October.
Yes.
I finished the P2 in October and went to November for 3 weeks of P3. And then, you know, and then I did another 3 weeks, which I call P3, P4. I started introducing a little bit of food here and there, still never going over, still really maintaining under my LIW, maintaining it.
Right.
But still weighing myself every day. That was so crucial for me. Because
we learned that you possibly have a sensitivity to wheat with pasta. You know, and this is how we learn those things. I mean, I never knew that I had a dairy issue until, you know, every time in P3 that I would introduce cheeses and sour cream and all of that stuff in P3, I would puff up and get all inflamed and bloated. And it's like, whoa, wait. And now I realize I can't eat dairy. You know, it's just how it is. So your last round, you did a strict 40-day round of P2, and you lost how much?
41.2 pounds.
41.2 pounds. Yeah. Now, I want people to know that that is exceptional. It is not normal. That is actually very exceptional. And like we've talked about, I think it's because your original starting weight, you know, and you were disciplined and committed. And so like when people ask you, oh my gosh, what did you do to lose all that weight? You know, your honest answer just has to be, I followed protocol.
Yeah.
I followed the original protocol. Because really, there's no tricks to lose the kind of weight that you lost. It's just you followed protocol.
Yeah. I had made up my mind. And actually, I think I mentioned that when I started that last round back in August 20th, I think it was around that time. And I went till October 3rd. It turned out to be like 45 days, I think, but it was actually 40 injection days because I skipped.
Yes. Right.
But, when I started that last round, and because I had actually ordered my kit from you back in May or April, I think, and it just sat on my table.
I never even to be ready.
I never even opened it because I was like, oh, Memorial Weekend's coming up. I made excuses. I'm going to drink. I'm going to kick it there. Oh, and then 4th of July, I'm going to camping. I'm going to drink. I'm going to party there. And, you know, but come August, I think I was really feeling short of breath, really heavy, really bloated. I hadn't even thought about that scale. And I decided to go out and get this digital scale just to see how much I weighed. And when I got on it I think I made the decision on a Thursday. I was just like, you know what? I'm starting this weekend. I'm going to load on Saturday. I'm going to load on Saturday and Sunday because I like starting it off fresh on Monday with the, you know, low-calorie diet. So I'm going to load. And I'd never seen a number like that on the scale. I'd never seen that in my life. I'd never. The most I've seen was maybe 268, maybe. But that scared me. It shocked me. And I was just like, And so, again, I tell people when that weight came off quickly, I was considered morbidly obese.
Yes.
So you're not going to have that. If I was 400 pounds, again, it would come off super quick. I could have maybe lost 20 or 30 in that first week because I'm super overweight, but I committed to that P2 and following it without taking little taste, and then made a commitment to do P3. And I really, really read Pounds and Inches, and I really went through a lot of your posts on the resetting of the hypothalamus and your metabolism, and learn that it doesn't even fully reset until P3. Like, it doesn't happen.
Exactly.
Like, P2 is just, that's the easy part.
Yeah, P2 is the cake. That's where you're dumping all the weight. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that was how I felt. I was just like, oh my God. So for me to maintain it, there's groups that are cheering me on, the girls are cheering. And I'm saying P3 is where I finally figured it out.
Yeah.
P2 became easy because I know already I'm going to be on low calorie. I've already tried it. I already know what to expect and not eat and not expect. I know I'm going to feel full. I know that the first couple days may be hard, but eventually it'll be fine. But the P3, that's where I think the light bulb truly came on, where I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
I was consistent with weighing myself every day.
Yes.
That was a big thing for me. Yeah. I needed that weight the scale to keep me accountable.
Yeah.
That's what it did. I didn't have any accountability partners. There's no one in my neighborhood, no one I knew. There's girls I know online, but they're doing so many other things.
Right.
Protocol. Yeah. I just wanted to keep myself accountable and say, okay, did I add too much salt to the cabbage? Because when I tried the pasta, after I did the 3 weeks, and that's the difficult part. There's another girl in one of the other groups who was asking about, she's doing her 21 days of P3 and then she's starting another round. And I know people have said they've done that and they've been successful doing it, that they just do these rounds, they just cycle out. But I said, you have to wait 6 weeks in between starting another round.
Yeah.
So, why not do another 3 weeks of P3? Because that's the gray area where it's not really clear what happens after that minimum 21 days, but you have to wait 6 weeks before you start another round.
And it's 6 weeks between your first and second round. And then it's more between your second and your third round. And it increases up and up. And there, I have a post somewhere, and it's in pounds and inches of how much time in between each round.
Yeah. But weeks, like you have to add additional 2 weeks, but then when you get into it's like 6 months.
6 months, yeah. After I think round 5, but and that's just it. Is cycling. It's what is called cycling. Cycling became very popular, and I did cycling and I tried it where you do your 3 weeks and you jump right back in. And the problem is after I've worked with so many people, what I've learned is, once again, you don't follow the protocol. People who cycle end up gaining their weight back.
Yeah.
Right. And then they want to do it the right way, and that's, with all the experimentation and everything, those of us that are serious about it, we finally come around and go, okay, I've played around with it. It's time for me to do it the right way and get it done and over with and quit wasting my time and my money. And the effect it's having on your body of, losing and gaining and losing and partially resetting your hypothalamus, but not fully resetting your hypothalamus. It sets you up for failure. And so I mean, I've
shared that blog that you've written about what happens when we cheat. I've shared it with so many people that really get it after reading that. You wrote a blog or you wrote an article about what really happens when we cheat. And it's a woman on the bed with her head down. She's looking upset, and what really happens. I've shared that because that pertains so much crucial information.
Yeah.
And then, like I mentioned in the group previously, I'm on my next round now, day 3. And I could have started this next round last November. I could have started it.
Right.
But I don't think I wasn't even going to use, I didn't use the holidays. It wasn't because of the holidays I didn't want to do it, because I can discipline and get around the food. I'm cool with being around food and not craving it. Right. And I'm not a big sweet eater. So cookies, cakes, brownies, and pies, that doesn't, make my mouth water. But, some greens and smoked turkey tails, that made me, but I wasn't.
And chili.
I didn't. Yeah, I finished. Could have started right after my 6 weeks, would have been mid-November.
Mm-hmm.
However, I was going on a family vacation to San Diego from December 8th to the 12th. And December 8th to the 12th. And I knew where we were going to stay. We got a beautiful condo out there. I surprised my mom, my two sons. I took their best friend and one of my best friends from college. I surprised her, and I bought tickets for all of us to go to San Diego. Tickets were like $29 each way. So, and I was like, we're going. Yeah, it's on Frontier. We fly cheap on Frontier. So we got this beautiful vacation home. It sleeps 10 people. We got it really almost a rock throw from Mission Beach. And I knew if I started the protocol in mid-November, I would flub up when I was out there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to go and sip some Mai Tais by Mission Beach. I wouldn't be able to do any of that I wanted to do. So I still stayed the course and stayed the course even through on P3, even when we were in San Diego. Now, I will share this. I had already stabilized. So at that 6 weeks, I was already stabilized because when I started introducing other foods, like I said, when I ate, I had some ice cream, not a lot of ice cream, a couple spoonfuls of ice cream. It did not affect my weight. Exactly. I had chicken and rice. It did not affect my weight. I had some spaghetti and overnight. Now, even when I gained that first because I gained, I think, like 5 pounds the first time I introduced pasta, but I had been at 233. I was still under my LIW of 241. I was like 8 pounds under. So I still didn't go over, but what was great about it is that because I was so far under my LIW and I played with that food, I knew immediately I can't play with that food when I'm within the 2 pounds. I can't play with it.
Right.
I can't introduce it into my diet. I can't do anything with it because I'm automatically going to gain. So that's the only reason I didn't start the round back in December. And then moving into, go ahead.
No, go ahead, finish.
Moving into this year, I was supposed to go on a girls' trip to the cabins this coming weekend, the 18th through the 20th, like this coming Friday to Sunday. So I was like, oh, well, I'll start around the following weekend because I didn't want to have to worry about injections and needles and food and all of that. I didn't want to have to worry about that. So I said, I'll start the round. Well, it turns out I have to work, so I can't go on the girls' trip. And then it turns out that my church is having doing a Daniel fast. They started a fast this past Sunday.
Perfect.
Which on my loading day. So I said, this is a perfect time for me to start another round. But as I realized, to be truthful, I wish I would have started the round way back when, because what I noticed happened, because it's a mental thing. It's definitely a psychological. You got to be prepared for this, to do this. Yep. I realized that this is not only just a 40-day round. I got to still do 6 weeks of P3. So this is a long time I'm going to be in this place, and you got to prepare for it if you want to try to do it the right way.
Actually, I think you've got to do 8 weeks now between the next round.
Yeah. Right. So doing that, I said to myself, this past Wednesday, I was feeling anxious over how disciplined I've been and how much food I've missed out on, and like, oh my gosh, I wish I would have ate spaghetti and just eat and eat and eat. That was horrible because I was feeling anxious, like, oh my gosh, am I fully prepared to go like another 2.5, 3 months without spaghetti? So listen, anyone that's listening, you don't do what I do. Don't do what I did, but I kind of did a preload before the load.
You know what? Everybody does it, including myself. It's like, oh, I'm starting around soon. Oh, I'm going to be loading over the weekend. So that whole week before, you're like getting in all that stuff you're not going to be able to eat for months.
Right. Yeah. Well, I ended up not gaining a lot at all. For during that time, I didn't gain. Well, I gained from Wednesday to Saturday, Wednesday to Friday. I gained I think 8 pounds or 7 pounds.
Yeah.
And but I knew, for me, I felt comfortable because I knew what it came from. I knew why I gained it. I wasn't drinking, 2 liters of soda or whatever. I knew I was eating the food that I'm allergic to, basically.
Yep.
And that is going to be an automatic. That's going to be an automatic. And then I only gained for the load. I think only gained like 2 pounds for the load, but I was so stuffed, But then again, look at it. Right now I'm at 10.2.
Well, and that's what I wanted to be clear. So you stabilized in P3, but then once you got to P4 is when you actually lost more and went that much further below, because you could in P4 you can lose more weight, correct? Uh-oh, you froze. Uh-oh. Hopefully she'll come back. Oh, this was a great interview. Darn it. I hate to end it here. There's a few more things I wanted to go over. I'm going to pause real quick and see if we can get her back on. Back on. Okay, we're starting back up. She came back in because that's the next thing I wanted to address was you're on day what of your new round? Day 5.
No, day 3.
Day 3 of P2, and you're not feeling well. You are having detox symptoms. So got the nasty, massive headache, which happened in the past, and probably it's because of all the stuff you ate since Wednesday.
Yep.
And especially if your body has a sensitivity to wheat with pasta, that's going to have, when your body's going to be detoxing because, and unfortunately, sadly, I'm learning a lot about the wheat that we have here in America with the GMOs and with the insecticides and the pesticides and all of that stuff on it. It's really toxic in our bodies. And so that's probably why you're detoxing now that you're putting clean food in and detoxifying all the stuff that put in last week. Right. But you're dealing with it. You took some leave and you're just going to take it easy and be kind to yourself.
Yep.
And rest.
Yep. And I think I've decided I know I will probably start another round after this round. Again, I have a 3rd round I probably will do to get the goal. Yep. Right now I'm hoping to be in the the 2 something, maybe 220, 215 or something like that. And what's amazing is that with that last round, even though I had lost 41.2 pounds, I don't forget that 2 because that 2 matters.
I know. It does. Those ounces matter.
It went up on the scale and I was on protocol. I would be upset. But, with losing it, I couldn't tell. And that was amazing because I have a cousin in New York and.
Oh no, come back. Drats. Looks like we may have lost her again. Well, we might have to cut it short. I'm going to pause and hopefully she'll come back. Yep, no problem. Okay, awesome. So you said you had a cousin in New York?
Right. I have my cousin Raquel in New York, and she's overweight as well. She looks way heavier than what she says she is. And she never gets on a scale and sends me a shot of the scale. When I post my pictures about my feet on the scale, and you can actually see the number, those are real numbers. So, so when I'm telling her about me, I hadn't seen her, and I told her about I lost 41 pounds. I think at the time when I had lost 30 pounds. Yeah. I was saying that I couldn't tell. I could not tell.
Right.
Rounds when I had lost it was around the 27, 28 pound mark. I started to see a little bit. Yeah. But then again, I had started off less heavier than this time.
Right.
So, but this time, because I was so heavy, by the time I lost 41 pounds, I couldn't hardly tell. I could see it a little bit in my face under here because my skin was kind of wrinkly because the fat was dissipating and it was just skin. Yeah. And I could turn my head to see it.
I have that.
Right. But I couldn't tell. I didn't really have to go out and buy new clothes, so to
Right.
speak. It was just that my clothes were now fitting as they were meant to fit.
Right. And you were more comfortable in your skin. How's your blood pressure? Has your blood pressure been affected yet?
Yeah, well, yes. I'm on medication, and at the time that I got on my meds last year when I was doing the protocol, um, I when I first went to see my doctor, and it was right after I started, right when I started um, the loading period. I had saw my doctor that previous Wednesday, I think, and I started loading on Saturday and Sunday, and then I went back the following Wednesday. She wasn't happy with my blood pressure. She
Right.
wasn't happy. Yeah, she wasn't happy with my blood pressure at all, because it was higher than what it should have been. But I had drank a lot of alcohol on that Sunday, which
Right.
really exacerbates my blood pressure, right? Because I knew I wasn't going to drink. I drank a lot of wine,
Yep.
so she changed my dosage around. But she wanted to see me in 30 days when she got me on, because I have a new doctor, new meds, no history with the doctor. And I was, at this time, I'm just being honest with myself. Because if previously with my medication, I would be famous. They would prescribe me high blood pressure pills. I'd take them a few days, and then I not take them, forget about them, wouldn't take them, whatever. Then I go to my doctor's appointment and lie and say, I don't know why my blood pressure is high. And then they'd give me a second pill. And then they'd give me a third one to compound, and nothing seemingly works. But it was because I wasn't being honest about not taking my meds as prescribed.
Right.
So at the time where I decided to get honest and do HCG the correct way was the same time I was going to be honest with the new blood pressure primary care provider.
Yep.
So I committed. She wanted me to take the meds for 30 days and see her in 30 days. I said, nope, I'm not disciplined enough to do that. I want to see you every week. That'll keep me accountable.
Good for you.
The goal was not, and I told her, the goal is not for me to stay on meds the rest of my life. I don't suffer from this kind of blood pressure. I know that if I get my weight down
Right.
and get into reasonable healthy weight, the blood pressure will come down and I can stabilize. So she said, good for you. I like that. And she said, I don't have to see you when you come back next week. We'll just schedule a nurse visit, and they'll document your blood pressure.
Perfect.
So I went back the following week. Blood pressure was good, and I said, let me just jump on your scale just to see. Now this is like a week later, and I was already down like 25 pounds. Right. So by the 30th day that I was scheduled, the 30th after 30 days of taking the blood pressure pills, and I was scheduled to see her so she can look at my history of blood pressure.
Right.
They also did the workup on me where they had me get on the scale. So when I got on the scale back in mid-September or something, I can't remember how much I had lost. I had lost like 25 pounds or something. I don't remember how much it was. But she said, wow, you're really getting the weight off. And I didn't bother to go into detail what I was doing. She's like, what are you doing? I said, I'm just eating clean, because nobody really, they don't want to hear that you're taking injections. It's like, you
never know, right, how they're going to react. And it's like, I don't want to deal with it. Right.
So I said, okay. I said, I'm just pushing back from the table, blah, blah, blah. She said, well, if you lose like another 10 or 15 pounds before at that time, she said, I'll see you in 3 months or 2 months in December. She says, she said, when you come back if you lose another 10 or 15 pounds before our December appointment, that'll be great because I'm going to lessen the dosage of what you're taking. Yes. And so it turns out I did lose it. I lost like 20 more pounds total.
Right.
Fortunately, right. I had to work, I think, on the day we had our appointment. So I haven't seen her yet to have her adjust the dosage. But the blood pressure is good. Yeah, the blood pressure is good.
Awesome.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling very hopeful that I can get this weight off and keep it off and maintain it.
Right.
Yeah, and like I said, if it weren't for your strict
for me being so militant.
Yes, I can appreciate it when if you're serious about losing weight. I need someone to crack that whip. I need someone to remind me to say, hey, that's not on protocol. I know you don't want to hear it,
right,
but it's on protocol. And this is a protocol only group. You're not beating people up if they make an honest mistake, but the whole substitution, right. For me, it just is better if I stick to protocol. I can't introduce roll I'm not willing because I know I'll probably have to do a third round with you. From this first really good round, I'm gonna
Yes.
my second round. I'm probably gonna have to do another third round to get the last, 20 pounds or so, 30 pounds that I want to get off, and I'm not
Yeah.
willing to take the road. Yeah.
Right. Well, because it's just not worth it. You've been down that road. It's just not worth it. And so, well, and it's interesting because I'm very polarizing. Either people get it or they get really ticked off at me. And I had to realize that I had to, because I care about you and what you're going through, and I want you to be successful at this. I don't want to be that clinic that just like, hey, I don't care if you keep failing, you'll keep coming back and giving me your money.
Yeah.
No, I want you to get it done, get it over with, and get on
Right.
with your healthy life. Enjoy those young men that you're raising. Enjoy your mama. And the next time you come to San Diego, let me know ahead of time so I can drive down and throw my arms around your neck. Because I can drive down there. My son lives, down in LA, so he's not too much further from San Diego. But yeah, I don't, so it's hard sometimes. I took somebody off the other day, and she left, and I had to realize that my commitment to helping people do it correctly has to overshadow everybody liking me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're not here for that. We're not here. I need you to give me the truth.
Yeah.
Give it straight, no chaser. I need you to be as honest as possible, because I'm willing to be as honest as possible. I'm going to be honest and know I take a spoonful of that, buffalo chicken dip. You know what I'm saying? And especially in the first couple of weeks of doing it, it is just, I've learned it is just not worth it to
No.
sabotage everything. And those stalls, when you cheat with something so minor, that stall just sets you back. Time, days that you can never get back. And then you just, I'm
Well,
feeling the chances. So,
and like in my blog, you're messing
yeah,
up the reset. It's worse than just the stall or the gain or whatever. You're messing up the whole chemistry reset of your metabolism. So why risk it? Let's just get it done and get it right. Well, I'm just so proud of you, and hopefully detox symptoms will go away, and just
yeah, I can deal with it, because I know I took some leave, so my headache is kind of subsiding a little bit. But I guess because I have the history and I know what to expect, it
yeah,
makes it easy for me to handle.
yeah,
And I just, will push through it. I'll just push
yeah,
through it. Now I'm
yeah.
looking forward to another successful round, and I can't wait. It's coinciding with my fast with the church. Although I've had a pretty couple rough past days. The past couple of days have been really kind of rough with this personal stuff going on.
Right.
But I'm looking forward to, really watching my body develop and do, now what it used to not be able to do. You
Exactly.
know, I can't wait to have that feeling to be able to run without. And I even noticed with my breathing, even now, it's not labor. It's not,
Right.
it's labored. And those are those non-scale victories. I think those are the best kinds, when I can look down and see all my body in the shower. Because my
Yes.
belly, the
Right.
non-scale victories.
Yep.
Those, they add up. They add up. So
Well, and that's what I was going to ask you. So, in the future, now going forward, what dreams have been resurrected for you? Now that you're seeing progress, you're seeing victory, you're seeing that you are able to do this. You are, and it's paying off for you. What dreams have been resurrected for you personally?
well, you know what? Um, now I'll be very honest. My acting career, as well as the promotions and the marketing that I do.
Right.
Um, Physical appearance. Although, guys have hit on me and people say, "Oh, you're so pretty," but I got a ball cap on because it's a bad hair day right now. But I know that my physical appearance has held me back. First and foremost, I know that for a fact.
In your
It's held,
career.
yeah, very, very, very conscious of it. When I do promotional marketing, and I'm an independent contractor, and so a lot of the staffing agencies and marketing companies, before they hire you to work an event, they ask you to send in a promotional picture, a professional headshot, and a resume, and a full body shot, right? So I don't get upset with that. I don't get upset with that. But I know that there also have been opportunities that I could easily work, that I could easily be the hired candidate, but it'll say something like the job opportunity, and it's a very not physically focused kind of career, but there are opportunities like during auto season. The client may say for Mercedes, he wants to hire 4 ladies to work at the Atlanta Auto Show, represent Mercedes, and they have to be, 5'6" or 5'5" or taller, and wear a size 2 to 6, because
Yeah.
the client is providing a uniform, which is a dress and some heels, so that all the ladies can look uniformly together.
Right.
Again, these opportunities I don't submit to, because
Right.
that door is closed for me. I don't submit to them any more than opportunities that say we're looking for a female that can speak Mandarin and Chinese. I can't
Right.
submit. So I know that my physical appearance, with related to my survival job, has
Right.
kept me out from opportunities. I know that my physical appearance, um, in the past, has probably locked me out of my acting career. Right now, it's not as bad. Right now, it's not as bad. You'll get casting notices that'll say they're looking for a female, any ethnicity, um, and it doesn't specify size. It doesn't specify
Right.
size. Um, it may say someone that's a little bit heavier. That's a
Right.
normal size, a normal female size, not
Right.
this supermodel, tall and skinny one.
Right.
So those dreams, back to your question, um, it's just really, I had planned on even getting new headshots, because I could tell in my old headshots versus my face now that it's gotten slimmer. So I
Yes.
wanted to get new headshots taken. And I said I would commit to getting them taken after this round, when it gets even a little bit more skinnier, more
Yeah.
slimmer, um, to start marketing, getting my acting career together. That's definitely a dream. And then, aside from this, the physical appearance, like I said, it's just watching my body transform, being able to run. I love playing football. I love playing football. I'm a great quarterback.
Love it. Love it.
I was getting short of breath running.
Yeah.
I love playing kickball. I said this summer I wanted to play on a kickball team, and be able to run, without having to just, so these
Right.
are things, excuse me, sports that I love to play, but I don't, because physically I feel it. I feel the weight,
Right.
I feel the heaviness. So I love volleyball. So I said maybe this summer I was going to join a volleyball league. It's little things,
Yeah.
nothing, yeah, little things that, my little personal goals. And then
But
again,
that's just it. It
yeah,
is the little things. It's the little things that make life beautiful
yeah,
and make life worth living. And it's those little things that, when our bodies, and it's not that it's that our bodies aren't the way we want them to be, because we have, it's that our bodies are physically
right,
incapable because of our weight. Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah,
so, and
yeah.
our health, because it really affects your health.
That it boils down to it. I mean, the appearance is good. The appearance is great, and I can go and get surgery to get rid of my belly fat. But
Right.
that's not it. That's the belly fat is not the overall reason why I'm unhealthy.
Right.
It's overall.
Right.
I want to be able to run. I remember I used to run marathons with my dad. He would run a full marathon when we were
Wow.
little. He would run a full marathon, and I would run these 10Ks.
Yeah.
And um, I couldn't do that today. I couldn't run a 5K today without stopping a few times.
Yeah.
I want to be able to do that again. And that was, that's where my love for vinegar water came from, because every time we would go run these little marathons, he would always make what he called vinegar water, a big gallon jug of vinegar water, except he added honey to it.
Right.
I drink it without honey right now, and I just love the taste of, the vinegar water.
You can put stevia in it,
I think I tried to put vanilla in it, and it kind of threw me, because I'm so used to drinking it just as vinegar now.
just straight. Yeah.
Yeah, straight vinegar water. It kind of threw me, because I wasn't expecting a sweet taste. When I went to grab it, I wanted a tangy taste. But
Right. Well, you said sweets aren't your thing, so. Well,
I'm so excited to be back on the protocol. I'm so
yeah.
excited. I'm so grateful to you. you've been so helpful and so instrumental in
Well, it is my joy and pleasure.
yeah.
I love to watch your progress. I love your posts. And I just think you're a real motivation to, other people that are struggling. And that's why I just wanted to share your story, because, you are a success story, and, you're in progress, but you're a success story.
Thank you. And you were there way back when. You were there way back when. I order a kit. I am good with P2, and I fall off. But I think, once you get a taste of that sweet life, once you get a taste of that good life, like,
Yep.
wow,
Yep.
I did it the right way,
Yep.
and I'm reaping the benefit. Again, I can't go back any other way. I can't do it any other way. And my ears and my eyes actually bleed when I'm in other groups and they talk about the things they're eating and they claim they're thinking, oh gosh.
I'm at the point where I really don't even go into the other groups much anymore. I did the other day, and it was a huge mistake, because I shared my opinion.
Yeah.
And it totally ticked a lady off. She went crazy. She left the group. She was so angry. She started putting personal posts on my personal coaching page and all kinds of stuff. And I had to block her. I'm like, okay, I just need to stay out of other people's groups, because we really are the only strict original protocol group. All the other ones allow whatever you want to do, and that's fine. But that meant I need to stay out of their groups and, only deal with strict protocol in mine. It's just not worth my time.
And it may work for some people. It's just that me personally, I have too much invested. I have too much on the line, and I have too much to lose, and there's too much I want to gain by deviating from the original protocol. I'm not going to chance it. I'm not going to chance it. I can tell you what, I've already chanced it and I failed.
There you go. And it happens all the time. I mean, I get where people, just like, well, I don't want to do it your way. I want to do it my way. Okay. Yeah. And they eventually come back and go, okay, I can't do it that way. I want to do it your way. It's like, okay, let's go, So, awesome.
Word for the year. But I appreciate you. And like I said, even if no one else appreciates the strictness of the protocol that you offer and that you stick to, I appreciate it, because I wouldn't be a success if it had not been for you pushing me. I wouldn't have been a success. I can tell you that. I wouldn't. But I said, unlike like I said, when I would go to the doctor and I would say, I don't know why the blood pressure pills are not working, and I wasn't honest. I knew that if it was going to work, I had to really get honest. And I appreciate you tremendously. Like, I can't wait for you to see what the final me looks like, because
I know I can't. And you took before pictures, right?
I have some. I didn't purposely take any, but I have some. Yeah, right. It'll be a noticeable transformation. But I like I said, I don't know how often you hear it, but I do. I appreciate you very much.
Thank you.
Love from my sister, from another mister, my sister in Christ.
I know, I love it.
Definitely appreciate you, and I'm so glad that you decided to stick with the original protocol as the name of the group. Yeah, very
awesome.
Very
okay, perfect. Thank you. It's nice to hear that kind of feedback, just to let me know, okay, I'm on the right track. Yeah. So perfect.
And here's the thing: you saw my video post. You saw my video post.
Yes.
And as the Pastor Smith that saved my life, he and I talked for hours every single day. Almost every day. We were on the phone for 4 hours last night, and it's nothing but pure ministry. But I told him, when I was wishing him a Merry Christmas and talked around Happy New Year, I told him, I said, you don't understand what you've done for me. And he's not arrogant with it, because he knows that he was just using the vessel. I said, but you don't understand how far your message and what you did for me is going to go. You don't know. It's going to reach people well beyond Cleveland, Ohio. The same way you are way on the other side of the country, and your assistance with keeping me disciplined, and being one of your success stories is going to reach further than just me. Right. It's going to go way beyond just me, because people will look at me and they will know. And I say, listen, it's because of her. And you don't know how many people will be affected because of what you do. So I don't know if you've heard it lately, but I love you and I appreciate you.
My husband tells me that all the time. He does, but thank you. I appreciate that. That's I'm learning how to take compliments. I don't do it well. So I'm like, okay, I'll take this. I'll
Yeah,
take it, cherish it. So thank you.
care for too many people. You
Yeah.
pour of yourself too many people.
Yeah.
And I wish you a lot of miracles and blessings this year.
Thank
Hopefully.
you. You know, God's doing some great things. He's doing some great things, totally opposite than I would have expected what true, in my mind, what success is, because
Right.
he's teaching me the forgotten way. He's teaching me the way from above. He's teaching me that less is more, and
Yeah.
smaller, and do not despise your small beginnings.
Yeah.
So he's teaching me to really appreciate, um not being big and great, but being small. And it's weird. It's a weird, and my brain's twisted constantly, trying to reprogram, going, because the world's telling you this is success. This is what success is. This is what your body should look like. This is how your career should look. And God's like, yeah, that's not the way we do things in my world. And I'm like,
That's
ah,
not in the world. Yeah. I totally get it. Where you really have to. I mean, I'm going through that now, where he's making a shift in my life,
yeah,
and I have to remember something that my pastor always says, that victory doesn't always look like victory.
exactly,
It doesn't,
exactly.
especially when we have it. We want to see it our way, and God says that's not even part of my plan.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, my goal, you were saying running, my goal was to be able to get back to running half marathons and 5K. I was going to do a 5K by the end of last year. And then I've been so sick. I mean, I'm essentially housebound. I leave the house once a week because I have to go to a doctor's appointment.
Mhm.
And I'm learning that, that there's blessing in that it, it's for a season and it has a purpose.
Right.
So that's,
In my driveway. I'm sorry.
you know what? I'm going to let you go anyway. Bless your heart. I love you to death. One of these times when you come out to sunny California, I'll have to come down and see you.
Promise you, I will.
Okay. Okay.
All
You
right.
have a beautiful, beautiful evening.
All right. You as well. Bye
All right.
bye.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.